Welcome to SBiz Saturdays, how we like to do it here. It is the wonderful January 25th of 2025. And super excited. I am Marla Renee Stewart here for the Be Successful Business Coaching Program. And we are here live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and the wonderful Instagram. Hey, Big Daddy, new angle. Yes, new angle. Because I'm going live I use the software for StreamYard. And so since I use StreamYard, I'm actually maybe looking for another provider perhaps, but I can only go live on 3 platforms unless I pay for like the full upgrade, which I don't need. So I'm just going to use my phone for the time for today for Instagram. So that's why you'll see folks who see me there looking down. I'm looking down at my Instagram just because I don't have I used to have like a thing where I had my phone just like facing up there and it would be great, but that's not the case anymore. So once I figure that all out, it'll be all good. But until then, this is what you got. This is how you got me. So I need to actually turn up my brightness a little bit. Hey, Big Daddy. Hello. Let me go look at all the other angles. Absolutely. Please feel free to look at all the other angles. So folks, I am happy to have you here today with me. If you have a question, you can always put your question in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your business questions there, as well as you can submit it anonymously by going to qrco.de/successama. That's SEXCESSAMA. And I will be happy to answer your questions there as well, which reminds me, I probably got to go look at those questions. I was in a rush to get here, y'all, because, child Saturday, just, had to move them along. Because, I think last time he was actually here hanging out with me. Didn't want to do that this time. So I made sure he was happy and fed and good. Hey, Big Daddy, another angle. Yes, another angle to see me at. Miss Lucy Snow, you said, didn't even know you could do live on multiple platforms. LOL, already super helpful. Great, glad you know. Yes, you can do live on multiple platforms. So whatever like your favorite platform is, whether that's YouTube, or maybe it's Facebook, or maybe it's LinkedIn, or maybe it's the gram, whatever platform is great for you, I'm happy. I'm gonna be on it. So when StreamYard was a little bit, more affordable for me, or what I believe is affordable for me, I was able to have it on Twitter until Twitter, decided they wanted to have only live streaming for premium subscribers. And so, but I could have as many profiles as I think it's up to 8 profiles or something like that. So now I just have up to 3, which I'm fine with. I'm, like I said, I'm maybe on the search, so we'll see. But I do like the fact that I can go to multiple platforms. So yes, Ms. Juicy Snow, if that's good business information for you right now, knowing that you can live stream to multiple platforms, that's absolutely fabulous. And if you are, if I were to coach you in person, like you were to be on the show with me, you would be able to link your StreamYard or your platforms as well and live stream as well. So that is also a possibility. You know what I mean? Like there's all sorts of possibilities when it comes to business and making sure you get your message out there. So today, y'all, if you are not on my email list, I suggest you do that because you can find exclusive discounts on my email list. If you are not a subscriber on Instagram, I highly suggest that you become a subscriber to get some deep down tips and tricks. If you're like, I am not ready to commit to your program, Marla, like the program seems like maybe you're not really sure, it might be a little much. that's fine. You can always you can always subscribe to me on Instagram for some little snippets of tips and tricks and things to do to help you along in your business journey. But if you got my newsletter for this week, then you would know that we talked about what is the best business structure for you, right? Are you thinking about an LLC? Are you thinking about a sole proprietorship? Are you thinking about a nonprofit? Because I know a lot of people in our industry, sometimes we want to rely on grants and other kinds of things to get money flowing in our business. And so a lot of people go like, oh, I want to go the nonprofit route because that seems to be, maybe according to their mission and vision, but in reality, it might not be the best for them. So, and there's also a way to figure this out, right? So anyway, in my blog this week, I talk about LLC versus sole proprietorship versus nonprofit and why you should have, like, what are the pros and cons of each? And honestly, it's really up to you because of what you want to do with your own business, right? So if you're like, I just want to be me, it's just by myself, you don't have any, like, maybe you don't have any visions of scaling, or you're like, it's just me and all me, and I'm gonna just do me. That is perfectly fine. A sole proprietorship is probably going to be your best bet, right? The pros of a sole proprietorship is that there's ease of setup. You have complete control, autonomy over everything. The taxes are simple because it's all sort of in one, right? It's low cost, right? There's no annual fees or mandatory compliance requirements or anything like that, where you would have to do, for an LLC or a nonprofit org, right? But the cons are, if someone gets mad at you, then you'll have to personal liability. There's no separation between your personal and business assets. So it could put you at risk if someone decides to sue you or if you incur like any kind of debt. And in addition, because it's a sole proprietorship, that's you and only you, right? So that means you can't really grow. You can't really scale your business. And so when you want to get more money, it's going to be very, very difficult to raise capital or to get more funding, or because it's, you have a limited growth potential. In addition, you are solely responsible for those taxes on all the profits that are coming in. So that's also something to think about. So a sole proprietorship might be good for a side hustle, right? Like if you're like, I don't want my sexuality business to be like the end all be all, but maybe you just want it to be a side hustle. That's perfectly fine. You can do that and be, it can be amazing. Then there's also nonprofits, right? If you want to run a nonprofit org, there's lots of pros to being a nonprofit, right? You can apply for your 501c3 and you can avoid federal income taxes, which I have, a couple colleagues that are nonprofits that yes, we avoid federal income taxes. So all that money is all their money. You know what I mean? And you also, receive tax deductible donations. So everything that someone gives you, they can simply write off on their taxes, which could be really great for people. There's often a lot of funding opportunities, right? You can be eligible for many grants. For our industry, the grants are there, but usually a lot of them are connected to possibly like HIV work, public health, that kind of thing. Kind of, what is plaguing the people. That is kind of, I hate to say it, but a lot of sex negative, funding comes from that, as opposed to sex positive funding. We really don't have access to a lot of sex positive funding. So that could be a thing, but there's lots of funding opportunities for that. And then there's also, you have a mission, right? The mission driven focus. You are making a social impact somehow. You're providing education, resources for underserved communities. And that could be one of the best assets that you could do for your communities and how you want to give to your communities. But of course, the cons with a nonprofit is that there are strict regulations, right? You have to comply with very detailed state, federal requirements. I've sat on many nonprofit boards, so it's just like the auditing, all the restrictions, the regular reporting, all of that stuff has to be done. And then even thinking about restrictions on political activities, what you can and can't say, how you want to do things, that can be a detriment because it's federal funding, or it's grants, it's funding from some other source, right? There's also limited control because if you say you were to found the nonprofit, you're going to have a board of directors to sort of keep you in check, because the board of directors are the people that govern the organization. They are the ones fiscally responsible. And oftentimes they can dilute the founder's control because it's a nonprofit, right? So that's also something to think about. It's very, very complex setup. Good afternoon, Amari, the Rebel. Very complex setup, right? So it takes a lot of time, effort, legal fees, like I said, like the auditing, all of that stuff. There's a lot of different steps that need to be handled in order for you to be a nonprofit. And then of course the profit restrictions, right? The revenue that you get in must be reinvested into the mission. Of course that could be reinvested into salaries and things like that, but understand that limiting personal financial gain it's up to the board of directors to be like, okay, we can cap this, or we see the salary or whatever else, right? They literally are the boss of the person who's essentially the head of the organization, right? So that's also something to consider if you're thinking about being a nonprofit. And like I said, it really is just depending on what you want to do, what your mission and vision is, and how you want to expand your business. Now, y'all know I'm a little biased. And because I'm a little biased, I'm going to say in this business, I think it's best to be an LLC, right? The reason is because the pros are great. The pros are limited liability protection. Somebody comes after you, they can come after the business assets, but they can't come after your personal assets, right? So that's huge. The tax flexibility, you can have so many things written off. So even the LLC you can choose to be taxed as a sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation. It's up to you, but there is tax flexibility there, and you can get things written off, which I am just like, hey, get your money back from the government, y'all. I mean, we know Trump does it, and all his friends do it, and we need to do it too in order to get ahead, and that's just the truth. So I really highly encourage you in this capitalistic system. It's not probably going to go away anytime soon. So using, if you need something for your business, making sure that you do that. And also, when you have a LLC, there's a lot of credibility, right? It appears. Yes, you have a crown on your head. I see. And so it often appears more professional, credible to clients and collaborators, right? So LLCs often have the look, feel, and are just more professional. And you want to talk business with my people here? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. All right, here we go. No, you don't want to talk? You want to talk business? Okay. And then there's customizable management, right? So you can create a, flexible structure for how you want to make decisions, right? So you're thinking about your organizational structure, what that looks like, how, how did my camera do that? Anyway, yes. And so thinking about the how you want to set up your system is going to be best. Please keep that off my keyboard. Oh no. Thank you. Now, when we think about the cons of having an LLC, that's going to be a little bit different, right? Because we have your startup costs. So you have to think about the filing fees, which usually are not that much, but it is dependent upon the state. The annual maintenance, right? So having to pay the fees per year. And administrative burden. So, LLCs sometimes require more paperwork, such as like operating agreements, annual reports, things like that. If you want to do, he's not going nowhere. And then of course, self-employment taxes, right? So if in some cases, some owners may pay self-employment taxes on their earnings, right? But again, tax flexibility, making sure you get your money back from the government for everything that you pay for when it comes to your business, right? If I weren't given these and I paid for these, I would pay for these with my business, because look at that, I'm wearing them for business purposes for my show here, right? So understand that it's super, super important when we think about all of these different things, the pros, cons, all of it. But when you're thinking about how to choose the right structure, you have to really think about the questions that you're going to ask yourself, right? And the questions are, what are your long-term goals? Okay. If you have some long-term goals, maybe you want to get some offices, whatever, like an LLC might be the best fit. But if you just want to be just you, have small scale operations, then a sole proprietorship, right? So, all of those things. And then also thinking about like, how much liability are you comfortable with? Are you okay with someone going after your assets? Oh, yes, Big Daddy, mom on duty all the time. Never stops. And so thinking about the liability, an LLC, of course, offers that valuable protection for your business. And then, of course, think about your funding needs. Okay. If you plan on, relying, it's a glue for envelopes, probably dead. Let me throw this away. So thinking about your funding needs, if you want to rely on donations, grants, that kind of thing, you want to go after that, then that's going to be your best bet for that's going to be your best bet for business. Going to a nonprofit. Malachi distracting me. And then of course, can we what resources do I have for, and then also thinking about the resources you have, right? The resources you have for setup, the resources that you have for maintenance. What are those things that you need in order for you to maintain your chosen structure, right? So think about the time, money, expertise that's required for your particular structure of your business, okay? So understand, if you're just starting your business, you haven't gotten that, you haven't filed for your business yet, choosing the right business structure is going to be a critical step for you to understand or to be, impactful for your business, okay? So again, weighing out those pros and cons, really seeing if the LLC is a fit, if the sole proprietorship is a fit, and if the nonprofit is a fit, whatever is going to align with your business model is going to be great. Now, this you got me searching for floggers. So now I really want you to think about next week. I have my business plan, crafting your roadmap workshop, which is about business plan and coming up with your business plan. So please make sure you sign up for that class if you haven't already. If you are on my email list, there is a lovely discount code for that class. So please make sure you check that out. So I would love to hear what structure are you leaning towards now that you've heard me? Let's see. What things have I purchased with my LLC? Oh my gosh. Childcare. Childcare I purchased with my LLC. I've purchased, camera. Stop it.
Pink.
Where is it going? Come here.
Pink.
I've purchased my computer, electronics, anything that I'm going to be using for my business, specialty lights, education, so classes like that I've needed to take for my class, books that I need to read for my book that I'm writing. I've purchased outfits for particular conferences. I purchased, of course, travel. So, whether that's, plane tickets or, rental cars, that kind of thing I've purchased with my LLC.
Purple. That's candy purple.
Yes, it's purple. And I've purchased all sorts of things. Floggers. Speaking of, you were doing some searching on floggers because of my earrings. Well, floggers I've been able to purchase with my business because I use it in my business. So you can purchase all of these things as long as you're going to be using them for your business, right? So they said I need to sign up for your email and newsletter. Absolutely, please. Sign up for the email and newsletter. You can get if you haven't gotten your shadow ban survival guide yet, please go get that. It's free. You can get that on my website, or you can go to qrco.de/shadowban-guide. And that will get you on my email list. Of course, I'm going to be launching my Be Successful bookkeeping system. It's a really amazing bookkeeping system. And I'm just working on the videos right now to walk you through it, and you can submit it to your tax professional. Easy peasy. Takes 5 minutes to complete things like takes 5 minutes to complete things when you're doing your finances and whatnot. And it helps you to see hey, what am I making the most money from? What do you need to concentrate on? That kind of thing. So it can really help you evaluate what's going on in your business. So I highly, highly encourage you to do that. Yes. So, I think that is it for today, but I do want to talk about next week. Let's see. Next week, what are we talking about? Got all sorts of things going on. And Malachi distracting me with all the things. Yes. Let's see here. Ooh. Malachi.
Stinky farted.
Yes, you did. Stinky fart. So professional, right, guys?
Missy help.
So next week we are going to be talking about that business plan and creating a business plan. I will have my business plan workshop by then, so please make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Again, if you join my email list, you'll get that discount code. So
Missy help.
Need some help with what? What is this? Putting the skewer on the banana? This is gonna be broken. There you go. All right. So anyway, goodness gracious, this camera is gonna be the death of me. It's looking at Malachi. Look at me over here. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, just stop. Stop, camera. Stop.
Stop. Stop.
Yeah, stop, camera. Stop. So Big Daddy said, I'm thinking about doing an LLC for detailing vehicles, photography, and videography. So that feels like a lot. So I would encourage you to focus on one of those things. Because I mean, when it comes to business, you really just want to have, a really great offer. And then from that offer, you can expand and think about how you want to do all the things, right? Hone in on one first, and then you can move forward with like doing all the things, because some of us who are multi-talented, we have a lot of ideas. We can do a lot of things that, that make us feel good and that like are amazing. So really, it's really about honing in on what you would love, like what your passion is and what you would love to do, because that is what you need to do. So definitely got to learn how to stop. Definitely got to learn how to purchase childcare with LLC.
Back.
So, yeah. So, but they are separate. So it almost feels like you would need like 3 different businesses. But what I'm telling you is that honing in on one is going to be your best bet first. So you could just, call it Big Daddy Enterprises. I don't know. And then under Big Daddy Enterprises, you have your detailing, and you have your, what else did you say here? You had, let's see, photography and videography, right? Your media company. So you want to think about your LLC really should focus on that one thing, right? Mine is sexuality, education, business. So that's the thing that I'm focusing on.
No.
So what are the thoughts, info on buying into an LLC? So that's the information that I just gave you. So if you want to check out my blog there, you can just go to marlarenestewart.com/blog. And that first post is about LLC versus sole proprietorship versus a nonprofit. Those look like ribbons. And so, when you're thinking about, I don't know if you're buying into an LLC, it's just sort of thinking about the pros and cons and what's best for your business. So if you're thinking about expansion, or there's certain tax benefits and things that you want to do, then, doing that LLC is going to be best. But again, checking out the blog, answering those questions are going to be what you should do to make that happen. It's just a design, baby.
It's a design.
It's a design on the computer. Goodness gracious. All right, y'all. A lot happening.
What?
Yes, a lot happening, including you being a bugaboo.
Bugaboo.
A bugaboo, yeah. While I'm trying to do my show today. So anyway, all right, y'all. It was lovely talking with you today. I gotta go deal with this one. And but again, ask yourself those questions: LLC versus sole proprietorship versus nonprofit. What are the ones that you want to do? Okay. Thank you all for tuning in today. Please make sure you check out my workshop for next week around business plan, crafting a business plan, and I will see you then. Okay, y'all. All right. Have a good one, and I will see you later. Okay. Bye. Bye.